Here's why y'all don't have the ps5, because Walmart's hoarding all of them.
First of all, big shoutouts to Dumo Dude. He did a great job explaining false scarcity. But you can't stitch a stitch, so here's some more info. It's not just retailers that determine how many of any particular product they can sell. Large retailers enter into deals with manufacturers about how many products they can sell. In this case, retailers like Walmart enter into deals with Sony to only sell so many PS5s at one time. There are small retailers that do what they want, but this is mostly for big chains. This helps both the retailer and Sony protect their investment. But how, you may ask? Can not selling a product be a good thing? It's because of a little thing called interest fatigue. You don't actually want a product to completely sell out. And by that I mean your supply cannot keep up with demand. Because people don't have infinite interest, and eventually they're just going to stop looking to purchase your product. If PS5s were actually completely sold out, I mean there were no more units left to sell, then you go to a Walmart looking to buy one, and Walmart says, we don't have it. And then you say, when is it going to be back in stock? And they say, we have no idea, because Sony has no idea. It takes time to buy parts and get them manufactured into a console. So you go elsewhere to look for it, and every place says the same thing. We have no idea when it's coming back in stock. You call Sony, and they have no idea when it's coming back in stock. Eventually, the PS5 might as well not exist. And then people stop wanting to get it. That makes developers stop producing software for it. And then before you know it, the new console tanks. This was actually really common in the early days of video games. But manufacturers at this point have learned how to avoid it. And that is to artificially control the flow of their stock. This way, Sony can actually gauge the interest of the PS5. While it feels like there's a slight shortage on the consumer end, retailers will always have more stock in a week or two, because they always have more in the back. Meanwhile, Sony can see the demand and end up ramping up production if they need to. Or if there's less demand, they could start ramping down the production. Or build more advertising efforts to get more interest. Now, in a perfect world, Sony would be selling more units, but there's a catch. We are in very weird times. A global pandemic and in a part shortage right now. Making new PS5s is hard, just like making new graphics cards is hard. So they can't ramp up sales without fear of hitting that barrier where suddenly they can't meet demand at all. And that can actually kill a console. So instead they let sales trickle out. This both maintains interest in the product and makes sure that people keep checking at the retailer for more stock. Everyone benefits except for the consumer. And this might piss you off, but the big reason why stuff like this happens is because you can't actually count on consumers to act rationally. Like, yes, this is psychologically manipulative and that might piss you off, but would you also want the PS5 to fail forever just because Sony can't give one to you right now? A whole generation of consoles gone just because we're in a shitty situation? Sometimes being honest just kills your business.